Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Vishali, for the introduction. Vishali said, I'm just going to give you an overview of retinal imaging as of today. So, to go back in history, they say that the golden age of ophthalmology started in 1850 with the advent of the invention of the ophthalmoscope, the direct ophthalmoscope by von Helmholtz. 2 years down the line, they developed the indirect ophthalmoscope, which actually allowed us to have a better stereoscopic wide view of the retina. And actual stereoscopic fundus photography was pioneered by Jackson and Weber, and it's very interesting. It was in 1886, and the prototype of the camera was fixed to the patient's head with a 2.5-minute exposure. And even at that stage, this was considered quite revolutionary because it actually allowed you to document your retinal findings. Today, we have two methods of capturing fundus photographs: the digital fundus photography, which captures single images, and confocal scan laser ophthalmoscopy, which actually uses the laser light projected through a pinhole aperture, so you get the retina's image point by point. And that's what it looks like. So your fundus photography, and then you have your confocal laser scanning ophthalmoscopy. Fundus fluorescein angiography was first demonstrated in the human eye by Novotny and Alvis in 1961, and this actually paved the way for contrast studies of the retina and ocular circulation. So, you now had another imaging modality in your armamentarium, which actually allowed you to study the retinal diseases and the pathology much better. And in the 1990s, this was followed by the introduction of indocyanine green angiography, again adding, the fact that you had much better view of the choroidal circulation now with ICG. And so you can see now you had color picture, you have fluorescein angiography, and then you had the ICG. Fundus autofluorescence. This is a technique where prior to the injection of fluorescein dye or any other dye in the eye, the natural fluorophores of lipofuscin granules hyperfluoresce in the retinal pigment epithelium, and this is a very good technique of actually studying your retinal pigment epithelium. This is widely used in recording the changes, like, for example, geographic atrophy. There's been a lot of studies looking at fundus autofluorescence and geographic atrophy. The next major breakthrough in retinal imaging came in the 1990s with the advent of optical coherence tomography, or OCT. This is a non-invasive, radiation-free technique that can precisely visualize the layers of the retina using the principle of interferometry. Initially, OCT images were captured with what was called the time domain OCT, and this very soon was followed by what's the spectral domain OCT, which actually allowed you with the spectral domain OCT to look at all the layers of the retina. Then came adaptive optics, where you had direct visualization of the photoreceptors, the capillaries, and the nerve fiber bundles, and this again allowed you to look at early pathological changes in these layers. And now today we have OCT angiography, and this is a real leap into the era of retinal imaging, where you can actually three-dimensionally reconstruct the perfusion of the microvascular within the retina and the choroid without actually having to inject a dye. And you can analyze it layer by layer in an end-phase visualization. So what it does is you have sequential OCT cross-sectional scans to detect the motion of scattering particles such as erythrocytes within the eye vasculature. And this is going to be a real improvement on all the other studies that we have been doing with imaging. And this is what it looks like. And you can't believe that there isn't fluorescein dye in that eye. It's such a brilliant picture. And they have started off with the optic disc imaging, and then found that you can actually do very good imaging of the macula as well. So this is a big leap in the advent of retinal imaging. So what are we left with? we now have a vast array of imaging tools to choose from. These are all sophisticated devices, and obviously they're very expensive as well. So how do you choose what is it you want? You started off by buying your camera, then you brought your fluorescein machine, then you got the ICG, now your OCT, and now OCT angiography is another machine. And the idea is that you need to actually appropriately weigh the impact of these imaging and the results on your patient care decisions. And that's the challenge you have to face. And I think this instruction course that Vishali has designed probably is going to address that very question on what is it you're going to be needing to in your imaging clinic to decide what your patient care challenges are. Thank you very much.